YouTube, good evening. Make sure y'all subscribe and share this as well. The video tonight is talking about you got to unlearn to relearn. And that means information, mindset, all that type of stuff. But like I said, the name of the video is called You Have Got to Unlearn to Relearn. And this inspiration from this particular video actually came from a client earlier today. So like I said, definitely if this is something that you think you need to hear, just stick around. I guess I put it that way. But like I said, definitely you got to learn to relearn. Now, I know a lot of times we get into the mode of course, everything that we, of course, knew when we grew up and our families told us, our friends has told us when we were kids and school teachers taught us and all these types of things. I know a lot of that stuff. I'm not saying everything is false. I'm not saying that at all. Please don't get the wrong idea. All I'm saying is that sometimes you have to unlearn some of that stuff in order to relearn something different, in order to change your life and in order to create a different life for yourself. Just know that. And like I said, this video, this inspiration came from a client I was talking to earlier today, actually, in one of the groups that I facilitated. And, you know, sometimes we can, of course, for the first thing, sometimes we can, of course, hear different people talking about different information, whether it's you're trying to receive services from an agency or from a coach or from a therapist or whoever it's from, whoever you're trying to receive, get the information from, sign up for services with, that type of thing. Sometimes we can hear other folks talking about the resources, the services, and that type of thing, and how it didn't work for them and what was wrong with it, all the negatives. And we can, by us being human, we can take all those negatives to heart without even figuring out what's real and what's not. That's why I was saying you have to unlearn to relearn. Sometimes folks will tell you all kind of stuff. Especially I'll give you an example. I'm a social worker. So when somebody calls in asking for resources or services, oh, I heard that so-and-so said you can't get this service because of this, that, and the other. And me being a social worker for over 2 decades, I haven't never heard of that before. And I'm, of course, just letting them know, of course, my what I've heard about it, that kind of thing, and just giving them my best suggestion or use or information. And like I said, some folks, of course, are so hell-bent on whatever somebody else has told them, that's the truth, and that's what they need to listen to, and this kind of thing. But I'm here to tell you that sometimes folks, and a lot of times, actually, they're wrong. And like I said, I can't tell you how many things I hear on a daily basis that is not the correct information. You cannot just listen to what everybody's telling you. Yes, granted, there are some folks who, of course, care about you and that's honestly going to tell you the truth about things, but a lot of people are not. And we have to learn that we have to sometimes unlearn some of those things that folks have told us in order to relearn something else in order to change our lives, y'all. That is definitely possible. I've done it many a times. But like I said, the first thing, like I said, don't believe everything you hear, find out for yourself. I don't care what somebody has told you. I don't care if it's at work or somebody gossiping. You know, this Susan don't like Joan because she said she hated everybody in the office. Okay, ask Joan yourself if that's true. People gossip and lie all the time. Yes, there are some folks who tell the truth. We all know that. But there are folks that lie all the time and gossip all the time about stuff that's not even true. You have to always get to the bottom of the stuff that you hear, not just because so-and-so told me or my best friend told me or my parent told me or whoever the heck told me, my teacher told me. Figure out for yourself if that stuff resonates with you. If it does not, meaning that if it does not sit well with you, find out what the truth is. Research, look it up. We have access to Google, YouTube, all this stuff online nowadays. We can look just about anything up and come to our own conclusion. Like I said, there's no reason why we have, yes, you can listen to people. I'm not saying don't listen to people, but think about the messenger. Who is telling you this stuff? Yes, maybe it's a friend, maybe it's a boyfriend, maybe it's a girlfriend, maybe it's a coworker, maybe it's a family member. But look at the person who's telling you this stuff. Can you trust that person that's telling you these things? Have their word always stood as bond since you've known them? Have they ever lied about anything that you know of? Were they able to come back and say, I'm sorry, or I take responsibility for this? Any of those types of things. If not, research what that person is telling you. Don't just take their word at face value. Look and figure out what's what. Like I said, folks will tell you some of anything because they had a bad experience with a life coach, or because they had a bad experience at a therapy office, or they had a bad experience calling the social work office, whatever it is. Okay, that's their experience, but it's not your experience. You don't have to listen to everything somebody's trying to tell you. Sometimes those folks are telling you their experiences. Yes, it may be true for them, but you may have a totally different experience with these people that you're trying to get resources, information, and services from. And hey, cousin Sean, I hope you're doing well. Thank you for being on this evening. So like I said, you may have a totally different experience. Just because so-and-so had this bad experience don't mean that you're going to have the same thing. Research what people are telling you. Like I said, the client I had earlier talking about like the state Medicaid. It don't matter what state you're in, most states are about the same, but the state Medicaid. Oh, I heard they'll take your house and their name goes on the deed and all this kind of stuff. And I'm like, okay, any state Medicaid, because it's federally and state funded, well, federally then state funded, but it has an estate recovery on there. Yes, it does. They all do. But their name does not. Estate recovery, meaning that they want to recoup the money that they spent on providing services for you, whether that's for long-term care, whether it's for adult daycare services, or I don't know, in-home caregivers, whatever it is. They want their money back at some point. That's what estate recovery is for anything. On care was a law office. Estate recovery means exactly that. The same thing as a repo. They want their money back for the stuff that you haven't paid for. I guess I put it that way, and that they gave you. Yes, while the as far as like the estates, as far as the houses, that kind of thing. Yes, if you have Medicaid services, and if you are receiving all these services for years from the state, and like I said, nobody gives you anything for free. They're going to want some type of money back. And like this gentleman was like I said, he was letting me know that their name goes on your house deed. They're going to take your house and all this kind of stuff. Like I told them, their name does not go on your house deed, but of course I'm the person that's wrong. Didn't want to listen. Like I said, I'll get into that in a few. But like I said, definitely that wasn't the case, and that's never the case with any Medicaid service. I can't say about your coaching services, all this kind of stuff, but when it comes to this particular situation, that is not the case. But yes, it is true that if you don't have anybody, if the person that's say if I have Medicaid, getting some long-term care, getting some caregiving services, I'm going to adult daycare or I live in a care home, that kind of thing. When I die, they're going to want, if I have a house in my name, they're going to want that house or the money from the sales of that house. If nobody's living in that house and nobody is around to, of course, to fight for me, I guess I put it that way, and for the house, then yes, they're going to try to take your house and they have to go through court for that to recoup the money that they spent. But their name never goes on that house before then. And if you have family and friends that's living after you, they cannot take the house from those people at all. And like I said, when you try to, or when I try to tell people this or tell people that or explain these kind of things and people don't believe you, then that's something they have to live with. And the same thing applies to anything else. If you're listening to what everybody else has to say and your gossipy coworkers, your gossipy friends, or people that you're hanging around that don't know what the hell they're talking about, but you take everything that they say, I guess, for face value, that they're all telling the truth and all this type of thing, that's going to lead you down a crazy wrong road. I put it that way. Do your research. I don't care what it is. And you said you're doing great. Oh, I'm glad you are. That's awesome. I'm definitely glad to hear that. Yeah, I'm doing fine too. I'm just getting off work actually about an hour or so ago. And I wanted to make sure that I did this video this evening. So that's why I'm on here tonight. So, but like I said, I'm definitely doing well at this time. So thank you for asking. But like I said, definitely we have to realize who is the messenger behind the message. I said, some folks have all kinds of experiences with different, like I said, social service agencies, like I just talked, like the example I just gave, or they have an experience with some kind of life. Well, I'm a life coach as well, but they have some kind of crazy experience with a life coach, or they didn't give me the right services. They took my money, the course didn't work, or whatever it is. Yes, while that may be the case for some, I'm pretty sure. But figure out those things for yourself. Do your own research first. Don't just take what people say and run with it. You don't know what happened in them situations. You don't know if they tell you the truth. You don't know if they pissed off this life coach or stole their resource. You have no idea what happened. They could have not even paid for the whole service and just read stuff online and said they didn't like it. It's a scam. Do your own research. Don't just take what people say without finding out for yourself. That's, like I said, that's first and foremost. The next thing, whenever you learn, like I said, you have to unlearn to relearn. And in unlearning some information, I don't care if it's something your parents told you, I don't care if it's something that you saw on the news or whoever, your school, whoever. Sometimes you have to unlearn some information because it does not fit your life anymore. And you also have to unlearn some information because you found out that information was no longer true from the experiences that you had. And there's nothing wrong with that. Just relearn something else. That's why I said you have to unlearn to relearn. There's a lot of things I, of course, grew up with. Money don't grow on trees, which I understand it does not grow on trees, but still, in theory, never mind. But the money doesn't grow on trees and stuff like that. But like I said, there's all kind of stuff that we're told growing up as kids and by our parents and our schools and our caretakers and all that type of stuff. I guess one I'll tell you. Well, trying to see what's the best example. Oh, well, I'll just use this example. Of course, me growing up and that kind of thing and going off to like the county schools and all this kind of stuff. Only white folks did certain things, like whether it was, I don't know, taking a road trip or bungee jumping or whatever it is. As I know, since I've gotten older, not just white folks do those things. There's Asians, there's blacks, there's Indian, there's all kind of folks who travel and do all types of adventurous things. I guess I put it that way because I have too, and I'm black. And like I said, growing up, you hear all these types of little snippets and little phrases and little things that, like I said, that your caretakers are just the environment around you teaches you. But as you get older and start living life, you realize that some of those things are not the truth. And like I said, yes, while it's definitely heartbreaking to some extent, because some of the stuff I had to unlearn was definitely heartbreaking. Had to cry about some of the stuff, was upset about many of the things actually, was pissed off at certain folks. You shouldn't have told me this, and that was a lie, and this kind of thing, which I didn't go back and tell them all that. But like I said, definitely, so you're going to get in the mode of doing that. You're going to be upset because of something that somebody has told you since you were little, that when you get older, get your own experiences, that you know is not true. But you have to be open to accepting and learning new things, y'all. Like Shonda said, a new mindset. That is definitely the truth. As we go through our life, what was it? Psychology Today, I think they said every 3 months, was it 3 to 6 months, our something changes about us, I guess I put it that way. Whether it's a new mindset, whether it's something you're learning new, something you're doing new, eating, exercise, whatever it is, our mental health, something about us is new every 3 to 6 months. And the mindset is definitely something that grows as long as you want it to grow. It'll grow for the rest of your life. But you have to be willing to unlearn some things in order to relearn something new that's going to change your life. And like I said, I had to learn those things. And like I said, I'm telling you this, and Shonda, sounds like you heard this already because you already knew about mindset and stuff like that. But some folks I heard just believe that whatever their family told them and these kind of things is just the truth. And most of the time, those things don't add up when you get into the real world and start living your life and having your own experiences. So like I said, definitely make sure that you're open to getting some new information. Even though the old information that you had was wrong, not right, that kind of thing, be open to that being, I guess you being okay with that. That's going to happen as long as you allow it to happen. I guess I put it that way. Because some folks don't allow it to happen and stay stuck in the same things that they always known, even though that stuff doesn't even hold up anymore. A lot of times we don't want to go back on our family, culture, traditions, rules, whatever you want to call it. And not just the family, but the environment and the educational system as well. A lot of times we don't want to go back on those things and say my mama taught me wrong or my daddy taught me wrong or all those teachers taught me wrong. We don't want to go back on those things because that's what we've always lived. We've always lived in that same mind frame and that same mindset that whatever you were taught, I guess I put it that way. Whether it's money don't grow on trees, or you got to keep everything within the family, or you can't have no new friends, or only white folks go bungee jumping, or only white folks go traveling, or only white folks are rich, and all this kind of stuff. I heard a lot of those things. And I know doggone well that there's more than just white folks who have all those things, because I met millionaires who are black, Asian, all kind of races. I've met people who, of course, money may come easy to them. That's fine. Others, it may not. You have to work towards those things. That's okay too. Unlearning some of those things to learn something new. That's what we all should be doing. I guess I put it that way. Yes, you're definitely right, Shauna. Definitely going back and breaking some of those generational curses. You're definitely right. And this is what a lot of this speaks on, breaking those generational curses. You have to unlearn some stuff in order to relearn something different. And trust me, it's okay. Even though, yes, when I started doing videos like this and talking about different things that happened to me and stuff like that, yes, I definitely got some crazy DMs from folks, friends, family, whoever. I put it that way. And yes, people that want to tell you you shouldn't be doing this or saying this or doing all these things. Do what's best for you. That's the motto I've always tried my best to live by. Do what's best for me. Regardless as to what anybody else is telling me, regardless as to whatever anybody else may think is wrong and I shouldn't be doing this or that, you have got to do so. I know a lot of times, I know it's kind of on the same topic. When people talk about you shouldn't tell people outside your family your business, meaning that everything that goes on inside your household stays in that damn household. Just to let you know that everything goes on in the household, yes, but I was fine and dandy, and some may actually be traumatic and dramatic too. Though by you keeping that stuff within yourself and within your household, you're only hurting yourself. And I had to learn that too. There's no reason why I can't go because everybody thinks white folks only have therapists. I had a therapist too. Back when I was in college, I had it for almost 3.5 years. Dealing with some of the stuff that I was supposed to keep within my own household or family, whatever the case may be, it was just hurting me. I put it that way. Yes, at times I was depressed. I wanted to kill myself a few times, actually. All this stuff going on, like I said, you keep it within the family. You don't put to tell nobody all these things. It was hurting nobody but me. I had you can't probably tell today, but had a horrible ass temper. And that lasted probably into my 20s, almost 30 actually, by the time I can actually work on it well enough in order for me to function at work and talking to people, I put it that way, and not getting so defensive about all these kind of things and thinking somebody's trying to talk about me and all this kind of stuff. I had to work on all these things. But of course, me in the same mind frame, the same mindset, keep everything you've been through in the family. These folks should know your secrets or your traumas or whatever it is. That's only going to hurt you in the long run. I'm 47 years old today, but it was hurting me in the long run. Nobody else but me. I'm sure other folks, whoever it is, I don't know. They may have been hurt, which I'm sure they were hurt as well. But like I said, at some point, we have to get smarter to learn something new. And like Shauna said, breaking those generational curses, that's what I had to do as well. I'm still working on some, but that's okay. And she may have some as well. She said, so the devil can keep repeating through generations, molestation, bitterness. That is the truth. If you don't get up and say something, it's going to keep continuing throughout, like she just said, the generation to generation. And that happens a lot. I don't know about all the other races. I'm Black, so of course, within my Black families, I guess I put it that way because that's who I know most of. But like I said, it definitely happens within, I'm sure, every family, and every race as well. Because I work with whites, Asians, different kind of folks who've had sexual abuse, molestation, all these types of things going on in their past as well. By their own parents, sisters, brothers, aunties, uncles, neighbors, and all this kind of stuff. The bitterness, the same thing, just like Shauna mentioned, yes, that's in families as well. Bitterness, resentment, unforgiving, being unforgiving, all those types of things. And like I said, at some point, we have to unlearn the old things that we once knew because we know that those things are either hurting us or no longer the truth and no longer hold up. And it's okay to do that. But like I said, you definitely have to understand and realize that while you're doing that, some folks are going to be pissed off at you. Because like I said, I had that from a few people actually. I didn't give a fuck, but I had it anyway. I kept doing what I was doing. I'm still doing what I'm doing. I put it that way too. I could have cared less. You ain't gonna kill me, so what? If you threaten me, okay, whatever. You know where I live is how I look at it. But like I said, definitely I was hurting nobody but myself. I can't tell you how many times that not just me, but others I've known, all that stuff, all that guilt, all that shame, all that stuff eats away at you for the rest of your life unless you take care of it and handle it. Whether it's therapy you're going through, whether it's a life coach that you're seeing, whatever the case may be. Or even if it's just getting on video, because that's what I did after the therapy. And this is way after college. I didn't start doing videos until 2017. So I guess it was 7 years ago, how many other years ago it's been. But like I said, that's my therapy as well. It helps me get things off my chest as well. Things that's bothering me, things that's going on. And it's not just for me, because I know there's folks out there who are on the videos and who do listen, because I get DMs all the time about how this particular quote or this thing I said changed their life or made them think about doing something different. Now, I know I didn't believe in God at first until the last several years, but I know that God didn't put me on this earth just to keep all these lessons within myself. And that includes the trauma as well, because trauma can definitely teach you lessons too. But like I said, I had to unlearn the stuff that I once knew in order to relearn something different. Like I said, going back to what Shonda said, breaking those generational curses. And James, thank you for being on here as well. You said, I appreciate your willingness to share the truth and shift our culture upward. Thank you. I really appreciate that. And like I said, I know this will help somebody, whoever's listening. If you all want to share this, please feel free. I don't mind. And I got somebody on YouTube that's saying something. Is it Bex Z? Thank you for tuning in on YouTube as well. And it says, you are very strong, wise, and amazing. I'm so glad you worked so much on yourself. It has paid off. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. And it's not just for me. You can do the same thing as well. I'm pretty sure that. And just like James or Shonda, either one of you and whoever else listening to this live can do the same thing as well. You just have to know and feel comfortable and be okay with maybe getting some pushback. But then you also have to know that you're pushing your own self forward by sharing your story, by sharing your truth as well. Somebody else outside of you need to hear that truth from you. I know I'm only for certain people. I know that. I'm not for everybody in this whole entire world. Nobody is. Shonda has her own tribe that's going to follow her. I'm sure James does too. If y'all do videos or posts or that type of thing, everybody has a group of folks who you're the person for them. They hear your voice, they hear your story, your message, it resonates, and they want to follow you. I put it that way. So like I said, Bex Z, Shonda, James, you all have that same thing within you as well. Not just me, y'all do too. But I know it takes a lot of discipline and moving forward, of course, and not being scared to, of course, like I said, to share your story, not even just sharing your story on social media, but just unlearning the things that you once knew that no longer hold up and no longer is the truth for you anymore. Like I said, a lot of us have that, and Sharitha can attest to that because I'm sure she's had it in her past as well. A lot of us have, and I'm sure everybody that's on this earth has. We all have something that somebody has told us that's no longer true, and just know that it's okay to run with that. I guess I put it that way as well, regardless as to what anybody else is saying about you. Now, I don't know who said, I think Les Brown or somebody, you can't worry about what everybody else has to say about you, because if not, you'll never move forward. You'll be stuck in the same thing that you've always been stuck in. I don't care if it's family, friends, you can find a support system anywhere. With folks outside, I put it that way. And they gotta be blood family, it doesn't really make a difference. It can be folks online, if that's who you have, then just keep those folks around you. But just know that it's okay to, like I said, to unlearn things and to relearn something new. So with that, y'all, I'm going to get my butt off here, as I know I've been on here a while now. But like I said, definitely thank you all for being on here. Bex Z, Sharitha, James, and Cousin Shonda. Like I said, definitely take care of y'all. And I'll reply to y'all messages, probably not tonight, but probably in the morning, just to let y'all know. So I'll do it tomorrow. And reply to y'all. And of course, like I said, definitely wish you luck in that type of thing as well. Because like I said, I greatly appreciate all y'all being on here. Because y'all did not have to show up tonight, I guess I put it that way. But for some reason, you clicked on the video, you want to hear what I had to say, so I greatly appreciate that. So with that, y'all, like I said, I'm going to get off here. And like I said, feel free to share this video with somebody just on your page if you want. That is fine. Or tag somebody in the video, either one, that's fine with me. I do not mind. And love you too, cousin. Love you as well. So like I said, y'all, I'm going to go ahead and get off here. Take care, y'all. Have a great night. I'll see y'all in my next video. Peace out, y'all. And thank you, Bex Z. Good night as well. I hope you're doing well. And like I said, this is for you. You can do it too. Just know that it's not just me, but this lesson was for you too. Peace out.